Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV, guys, and welcome to another edition of the Opposition Preview. First things first, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And on Christmas Eve, Chelsea head up to Molineux to take on Wolves, looking to finish a good week on a high with another positive result, having made the Carabao Cup semi-finals in midweek. But Wolves is going to be a tough one. You know, we've not won there in our last 5 visits, not one since Frank Lampard's first season in charge. So, yeah, it's not been a happy hunting ground for us. It's going to be difficult. Away games are always tough in the Premier League. Wolves currently only sitting 3 points behind Chelsea in the table, going well under Gary O'Neill, obviously looking to bounce back from a 3-0 defeat against West Ham last time out. But I'm delighted to be joined by Dave from Always Wolves Fan TV to get the Wolves lowdown. Dave, welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming on. To be honest, mate, at the start of the season, when I seen that Lopetegui got sacked and there wasn't much money being spent, Mateus Nunes went off to Man City, and then Gary O'Neill came in very short notice. I honestly thought Wolves would be in a bit of trouble trying to stay up, but it's gone a lot better than I think a lot of outsiders thought it would. How would you assess what Gary O'Neill's done in what is pretty much now this first half of the season?
Well, Wolves was pretty much a laughing stock throughout the summer, really, with everything that was going on in terms of the Lopetegui going off on his own, doing his own little behind the backs of the media team, interviews with his mate, Guillem Balaghi, and everything that went for there. He announced he was leaving in the tunnel after the Celtic match in Dublin. There's all sorts of the different things that you can take out of that. It was a bit disruptive. It divided the fan base and everything. And of course, Gary O'Neill, sacked by Bournemouth last year with their new owners coming in with a different direction, and him coming in with 3 days before the start of the season. From the outside perspective, and you talk about Mateus Nunes going, he was a key player for us early season, and we thought we were going to get the best out of him. I think a lot of people were very worried. Wolves fans were very, very worried. It didn't go down very well, the appointment of Gary O'Neill, with the majority of the fan base, especially with such a tough start. People saying that he was beige, got no personality, is a PE teacher at best, all of that sort of jazz. And it was a tough start for Wolves. It came to a little bit, even I got frustrated after the defeat to Ipswich in the League Cup, when both teams pretty much played their B teams and we were 2-0 up and still managed to lose the game. We collapsed again. And what you were looking for is some sort of identity. But as I said at the time, I said, the guys come in with 3 days before pre-season. It takes time, and it's been a tough start to the season. And then the next game, we play Manchester City at home. We've got injuries. We've got suspensions. We've only got 2 options in midfield. We can't play Tommy Doyle because he's a Manchester kid. Nunes is gone. Pep Guardiola did the one thing that was going to unite the fan base, and he started Mateus Nunes, and he got absolute pelters because, no fan of any club likes a player that downs tools to try and force a move. It shows disrespect to the fans. And to be honest, Molineux it kind of brought everyone together that day, and O'Neill had to go to a back 3. And we played really well, and we won the game. And then things turned around, and we started to, see some belief in the team. Did really well. Got a great result against Tottenham. We battered Tottenham, to be honest. And, we won the game, 2 goals in added time. Went into the international break, cock a hoop. We've had so many VAR decisions that have gone against us. And, even as a Chelsea fan, you'll kind of know. Wolves and VAR, 7 points. I mean, the first game of the season, Man United, when literally NFL tackled, but it wasn't a penalty. We've had loads of that, and so we should have more points. But the last few games after the international break has not been good. Our performances have not been good. We got a win against Burnley 1-0, but we could have gone behind. Bentley made a couple of double save. We lost against West Ham, got took apart too easily. We got a draw against Forest at home, where they literally sat to try and save Steve Cooper. But we keep starting really, really slow in games. And we keep conceding first. Other than the Burnley game, I can't remember the last time that we scored first. And to be honest, we were lucky not to be behind against Burnley as well. So the last few performances have not been good. Wolves has been slow starting. And then if you give any team a goal start, you're always up against it. So that's the concern at the moment. And, you know, this game at the weekend, it's the first game that's been played in the Premier League since 1995 on Christmas Eve. It's the first game that Wolves have played on Christmas Eve since the 24th of December 1966, but it is going to have a worldwide audience. I feel sorry for the Chelsea fans that have got to travel up on Christmas Eve to the game, and Chelsea have great following, and so you'll be there in your numbers, but we're at home, so it's not as bad. But I do know quite a few people have had plans and had to change and move, but like, it is going to be on TV, and Wolves need to put in a performance against Chelsea. And as you rightly say, we've got a reasonable recent record against Chelsea. In fact, head to head, Wolves are seeking to win consecutive league games against Chelsea for the first time since a run of 3 between 1973 and 1975. And as you say, the Blues are winless in their previous 3 visits to Molineux. So, yeah, I'm hoping that run continues.
Yeah, it's a tough place for us to go. I don't know what it is. We don't tend to do that well there, other than that 5-2 when you know, Tammy Abraham scored a hat trick and Tomori scored a screamer from well outside the box. We struggled there, and I remember you beating us with a last minute goal. Maybe the season after, under Tuchel, we had a goalless draw, and the game should have been called off for all our COVID cases, but it didn't happen. And then last season, Lampard's first game back, we lost 1-0 with a very good Nunes goal, but we were absolutely shocking. So this is a tough place for us to go. It really is difficult. And I think from me, like, I haven't watched an awful lot of Wolves this season, but I've seen obviously the City game, the Tottenham game. The attacking players are actually decent. I think Mateus Cunha's coming into some decent form. You obviously paid big money for him, but he's now starting to find his feet a little bit. Hwang is getting the goals in. And with Pedro Neto coming back into the fold, I think he's in the squad for the game this weekend. That's going to be a massive boost as well.
We've missed Neto because he is, you know, it's early to say this, but I think he's going to be better than Jota. Wolves back in the day let Jota go because he wanted to go. It was a good profit, and we had Neto, and then he obviously picked up some injuries. And when you do a hamstring, you're out for quite a while. But he is back in training. I expect him to be in the squad tomorrow. I will expect him that maybe he'll get 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on what's happening in the game. The one thing about Neto is very direct. He runs at people directly, and he creates carnage, but that also creates space. And we've missed that bit of carnage. So with Neto in the team, we're definitely better. Wang's been scoring, like you say, putting the ball in the back of the net. He's just signed a new contract, extending his contract at Wolves till 2022. And Mateus Cunha, we paid a lot of money for him. He's been at 5 out of the last 6 games. He's been directly involved in an assist or a goal. So if we can get them firing, we've got the tools to score. In fact, Wolves were terrible at scoring goals last year. I mean, we were one of the lowest scorers.
Same as us.
Well, we've scored in 15 consecutive home games, I think. Wolves have scored in each of the last 15 Premier League home games, which interestingly is the longest top flight scoring streak at Molineux since a run of 16 between August and March. Get this, 1969-70. So if we do score tomorrow, it'll equal that record, which is quite long. And our last Christmas Eve Molineux fixture was against the Villa in 1960, which we won 2-0. So I don't want to put any bad vibes on you, but like, Chelsea are winless in all 3 of their Christmas Eve fixtures, away league fixtures, ever, drawing 1 and losing 2.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great for us. I mean, Wolves is a tough place to go. I mean, in terms of how you see the game going, Dave, how do you expect Wolves to approach this one? What sort of Gary O'Neill's kind of tactics? How does he like to set this team up?
Well, he did start with a back four initially this season. He's reverted to a back three. He reverted surprisingly to a back four against West Ham. But West Ham are good at home and they like to hit you on the counter. And we're left so exposed. I don't know if you saw it, but down that left-hand side, they got in 3 times. It was the wrong game to go to a back four. We should have switched it to a back four against Forest when they were just sitting parking the bus and, they were hardly threatening us and we needed an extra player in midfield. I cannot see that he's going to play a back four against Chelsea. I think it'll be a very similar way of attitude to how we faced Manchester City, how we placed Tottenham. Wolves tend to play better against teams that open up against us. When we get teams that sit and make it difficult to break down, possibly the same as you. So I think Wolves will look to start and put Chelsea on the. Well, I'm hoping that we start with a bit more energy and a bit more high press and a little bit more energy than we have in our previous starts. If we play like we did against Tottenham and get on the front foot, then I think it'll be good for Wolves. But if we let Chelsea dictate the game, it could be difficult. And that's the key for me and for most Wolves fans, is that the last few games after the international break, and even a little bit before that, we've been asleep for the first 10 minutes. And it's, that's I think if Wolves get through the first 10 or 15 minutes positively, then it's going to be good. But Chelsea, if they get at Wolves and they get an early goal, then it's going to be difficult. I think the team that scores the first goal in this game probably wins. And I think that's good. I mean, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but if Wolves get in front, and Chelsea are trying to chase, we can hurt Chelsea on the break. But if Chelsea get in front, they've got something to hold on to. So you've got a lot of dangerous players. Sterling has got a fantastic record against Wolves, by the way. He's been involved in 6 goals in his last 6 Premier League games against Wolves, scoring 4 and assisting 2. So he's a danger man for us.
Hopefully he steps up then. But I mean, look, I think you can have some. We've considered a lot of goals this season from balls into the box, from set pieces. Defensively, we haven't been as good.
You ain't got to worry about anything from us from set pieces. We're absolutely diabolical. We can't even get the ball past the first man at a corner. So, like set pieces, you ain't got to worry about us. That's terrible.
That's all good on that front. I think where you could have some success is because I think Malagusto is going to be fit to start at right back, but certainly Levi Colwell's likely to continue at left back. He's not the best out there, and if you can get wingers running at him directly, a good quality of player. Like when Neto comes on, that could be a problem if he plays on that side. Whoever else might be out there, that is definitely an area that you can 100% target. Look, we'll create chances, but I think it just depends what version of Chelsea turns up. As I said, we had a good week. We've beaten Sheffield United. We've made it to the semi-finals of the Cup. This is a tough
played well against Newcastle as well.
We did play reasonably well against Newcastle, but again, it was the same sort of thing. We eventually got the breakthrough, but it just depends. Are we going to take our chances? This is always the thing with us. Like, we'll create chances for sure, but are we going to be clinical in putting them away? And can we cut out individual mistakes at the other end of the pitch, which has been a problem this season? We're making a lot of individual errors. Made a load up at Newcastle. Obviously, made one in the week as well against Newcastle again. So we just need to concentrate and just hope that the kind of extra quality on the pitch can help. I mean, Cole Palmer's going to have to anything good coming from Chelsea is likely to go through him, and Kunku will probably end up being on the bench again. Like we have got quality, but at the same time, you just don't know what Chelsea team's going to turn up, which is a tricky one.
Well, I hope they've had plenty of mulled wine and Christmas turkey, and they're ready for roasting, because that's what I'm hoping for. Because I have been surprised actually, because Chelsea are traditionally a team that's pushing top 6, top 4. And then you look at Chelsea, and like you say, you're only 3 points in front of us. I know you've had it, and it's from Chelsea. That's kind of massively underachieving with the quality that you've got. You've got Pochettino in charge, which when he came in, you were expecting him really to take Chelsea back up again. And it's not really happened. You've seen signs of it. So it's going to be interesting. You know, from a Wolves perspective, obviously, you know, we're open, we're at home, you know, it's on the TV. We tend to turn up against the so-called Big Six. And I hope that's the case tomorrow. We tend to sort of underachieve against teams that we should be doing better against. So, but Chelsea are probably underachieving so far this season. Gary O'Neill may be overachieving in terms of where we're at, but we haven't overachieved the last few games, and that's the concern I've got, is which Wolves team, a bit like you, which Chelsea team is going to turn up, which Wolves team is going to turn up tomorrow as well. And I think, like I say, it comes down to desire on Christmas Eve and energy, and the energy levels for Wolves, if they're there, we can cause Chelsea a lot of problems. If they're not, I'll worry.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It's going to be a really close game. I think if there's a winner, it will be 1 goal either way. But Dave, to round out a score prediction, you backing Wolves to continue their good record against Chelsea at Molineux, or do you think it could be a tough afternoon?
Do you know what? Looking at all these stats, we do seem to have a little bit. You know, you get teams where you just Aston Villa is one. They can never beat us, whatever. You know, a few years ago, they were 2-0 up on the 82nd minute, and we still won 3-2. It's like, you know, they're having a great season, and we play Brighton, and we can have 19 shots, and they have 1, and we'll still lose the game. You get teams like that, don't you? I feel like, looking at the stats and, you know, the Christmas Eve thing with Chelsea and all the signs from what I'm reading, it doesn't read well for Chelsea. It reads good for Wolves. So if that trend continues, I'm quite confident that, you know, we'll enjoy our Christmas Day, and we'll be taking Chelsea for Christmas pudding.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I'd love to say we're going to win, but our record there is not good. You don't know what sort of Chelsea's going to turn up. So I'll probably sit on the fence a little bit. But I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. But if there is a winner, I think it'll be probably 2-1 either way. But we're certainly set for a good game. Dave, thanks for your time. Great.
Yeah, I'm going to go for my score prediction is 2-1, actually, Wolves, because I think Chelsea will probably score. And it's much welcome. And thanks for inviting Always Wolves onto the channel again, and I'd look forward to seeing you before the match tomorrow as well, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Just quickly before we round out, mate, if people want to check out what you guys do, where should they go?
Yeah, so basically, Always Wolves Fan TV on YouTube, Always Wolves podcast on podcast, and then just Always Wolves on the socials. We will be giving our reaction straight after the game as well. So if you want to see the joy or the pain, which way it goes, you'll be able to see that. And we also do a match vlog as well. But, like, you know, I do wish you guys the best for the rest of the season, aside from tomorrow. And as I say, I'm looking forward to meeting up with you guys for a little bit of something to eat before the match as well. And we'll have a little bit of banter. But aside from the banter, I do wish all your guys and all the Chelsea fans a very Merry Christmas and a safe journey up and a safe journey back.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward to it, mate. Thanks for your time as always, guys. Make sure you go over and check out Always Wolves. Be linked in the description, tagged in the title. Go and show the guys some love over there, doing some really good stuff. Guys, we'll catch you again in another one soon. Probably the last video before Christmas from myself on here. So, guys, everyone for Chelsea Fan TV and myself, hope you all have a great Christmas if you're celebrating it. And we'll catch you again after Christmas. Take care, guys.